We're here today at an organic farm in Alachua County, Florida with Amanda Gibbons, a plant pathologist from the University of Florida in Gainesville. Today we're going to talk about disease management in organic vegetable systems. So Amanda, what recommendations do you have for organic farmers to help manage diseases with vegetable crops?
Well, disease management begins before you even plant your crop. It's important to choose the appropriate field. You want to pick a site that has had a history of good sanitation, and you're not going into a field that has debris that may have diseases on it and infect your new crop. It's also important to plan for good crop rotation. To put in, for example, a crop of cucumbers in one season and not follow it up with another cucurbit then for a year to 3 years after. This avoidance of similar crops is important because if you have diseases on one cucurbit, those same diseases go to all the others. It's also important to choose an appropriate plant date. Some diseases you can avoid altogether if you plant earlier in the year, something like powdery mildew. It's also a great choice to pick a cultivar that has some disease resistance. In particular, if we're speaking of tomatoes, Fusarium is a devastating soil-borne disease, but if you can get a variety that has resistance, particular to a strain 1, then you can prevent disease in your field, for at least prevent Fusarium in that season.
That's great, Amanda. So I know that increasingly more and more organic seed varieties are becoming available that have resistance in them. So once growers make these decisions, what's next?
Well, the next step would be then to plant or to plan your row spacing, your in-between row spacing. It's important to have enough distance between your plants within the row so that you have air movement. When air movement is limited beneath the plant canopy, you can get very high humidity and higher temperatures, and those are conditions that are ideal for disease to develop. It's also important to consider transplants rather than planting directly from seed. This gives you just more security in knowing that when your plants are up and you've got them in the ground, that you're not risking a damping off before they emerge.
Excellent. And so once all these preventative practices have been followed and your crop still gets a foliar disease, then what?
Well, then there are products that can be used that are approved, OMRI approved for organic production. And these products are fungicides, and they fall into 3 categories for organics. They're the biologicals, soaps, and minerals. Biologicals are key for use in disease management on the organic farm, and they can be applied foliarly by a spray, and they can also be applied by drench into the soil. If I take a drench type of application for an example, these are active by, in some cases, introducing an organism that pathogenizes or kills a pathogen that can cause disease to that plant, to the root system. So it's creating an environment where a disease organism cannot be successful in harming your crop. These biologicals are sensitive, so you don't want to leave them on the dashboard of your truck during a hot afternoon. You want to treat them well, treat them as living things.
Good advice, Amanda.